Training's fun, right? You know, it's hard work, right? It's hard in the gym, you know, you got to push yourself and it's hard, but it's fun. But it's not fun when you're starving all day long, when you feel hungry all day long, and you feel hungry at night, and your sleep patterns are broken because your body's waking up all the time telling you to eat. All the survival instincts, all the bells are ringing. You gotta eat, gotta eat. No, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat at this time, and this is what I'm gonna eat because that's what I need to do to achieve where I'm going. And you got to constantly override those instincts. The suffering, the struggle was really in that contest phase where you're on a restricted diet, and unlike any other athletes, you're on a restricted diet, and now you've got to train even more to get into shape. And this is a real mental challenge. To stay on a diet, to get into the condition, is an ongoing battle for 2 or 3 months, and that's where a lot of guys fall down. You know, a lot of guys can do the training and they can get big, but the discipline that requires for a contest to get into that extreme condition is something else. That's the toughest, physically and mentally, is that diet, getting into condition and going to the gym and still giving 100%. I mean, I would, but literally I'd go home and I'd be like, you know, I can't move now, I'm done, you know. I hated to talk about it. Like, how are you feeling? Are you hungry? Of course I am, but if I talk about it, it's more intense, right? So it is what it is. I just put the blinkers on and go forward. It's constant. You don't really get any break from it. But with bodybuilding, you leave it behind when you leave the gym. It's with you all day. You've got to eat. You've got to calculate what you've got to eat, and you've got to eat at certain times, and you've got to rest, and you've got to make sure to get enough sleep. So it's a real regime almost throughout the day. So there's no rest. And when you're getting ready for a competition, you're training harder, you're training more, and you're eating less. Maximum muscle mass, minimal body fat. So that's quite hard to achieve. The thing with bodybuilding, it's a 24-hour job, like total dedication if you want to get the most out of it. It's like mastery over myself, you know, mastery over your, oh, I'm feeling really hungry and tired and I want to eat this thing. No, I can't eat this thing now. Your goal has to be greater than the temptation. If it's not, you won't do it. Like, I'm weak and I'm failing if I'm going to eat that piece of cake. Let the other guy eat it, who's going to be second to me, or third or fourth, or whatever it is. You want something, it has value, you've got to pay the price. It just depends if you're prepared to do what it takes, if you have the commitment to do it. No, you can't miss a meal today because you're too busy. No. It requires effort, it requires time, it requires planning. I always say consistency, you know. Yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get all positive and for 5 minutes, yeah? You know, it's not going to work. You need to be consistent with all application of everything you're doing if you want to get to a goal. I always say it's like building a building, it's like building a house. You know, if you do perfect training and eating and everything, maybe that's one brick on your wall. So I used to think every time I go to the gym, I'm going to put a brick on my wall. But maybe those guys in California that are competing, maybe he broke his diet today. Maybe he had a bad day and it affected his workout and didn't put his brick on that wall, you know? And maybe that happens every now and then. Each time that he didn't put that brick, I still was putting a brick. It means slowly and slowly, I'm getting more ahead. It's not about, you know, one day or one workout, right? It's about the long run. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, you know? I enjoyed the challenge, but I was not a fun guy to be around. I wasn't laughing and smiling a lot. I was just like a driven person, you know? And just, that was always at the front of my mind. Like, I might be out shopping with the wife or whatever, she could drag me out, but I'll be thinking about tomorrow's workout. You know, I'll be thinking about how many calories I just eat. It's just a constant something going on there, you know? But that's, I think if you speak to anybody that's like at the top of their field, you'll find they're a little bit OCD. But, you know, I felt indestructible because I thought no one's doing this. Everyone's having a night off. I'm not having a night off. And I'm not taking a day off. You know, so it was just a mindset really that all these little, if I took a day off there, it wouldn't have made no difference physically, but it made a difference to my mindset. And it just makes you feel more powerful. I was so immersed in it, like a tunnel vision, that I literally did nothing else. I thought about nothing else. I just put absolute dedication into this, and fun was like something I can do later. I'm doing this right now, and having too much fun might interfere. I was scared to relax, man, because if I relaxed a little bit and enjoyed it, maybe I'd just lose it, you know? So I want to stay isolated. It's the only sport where you're eating less. You're eating less calories, you're giving your body less fuel, and you're doing more training and harder training, and you're trying to get contradictory goal of maximum muscle mass and minimum body fat. It's totally contradictory, and you're trying to balance that, and it's exhausting. Nobody understood it. What the hell are you doing, and why are you eating like a robot every 2.5 and 3 hours and doing this, and what's this all about? This is my passion, this is what I love doing, and if I don't do this, what am I going to do? Curl up and die? Nothing that's really of value comes without some kind of pain or some sacrifice, I don't think. You almost go to some places or zones or something, almost you shift a little bit under extreme stress and pain. Sometimes it just kind of melts away and you go to a different place. The biggest thing was, it was a discipline, it was a personal challenge, you know, and if you can overcome, if something's painful, you don't want to do it, right? But if you can overcome that, and like, if your body's telling you to eat, and you can like discipline yourself to say, actually, no, I'm in control here, then other obstacles in life are not going to be so difficult when you come to face them. I wouldn't go out, I wouldn't go to a movie if it meant I was going to get home after 11:30, because I need to get to bed at 12 and I need to eat at 11. And all these things, you know, everything had to work around. That's the thing with bodybuilding, it's not just the training when you go to the gym and then you can like, oh, let's forget about that when you go home. No, it's with you all the time, because you've got to, you know, you've got to eat the right things at the right time, and you've got to eat very frequently, every 2.5 to 3 hours. You're going to have the required nutrition and so on. So it's like a real regime. Kind of was like living in a tunnel, living in a bubble. Stuff was going on around me, but I didn't really take much notice of it. You know, I didn't get distracted. And the thing that I loved about bodybuilding was this is an individual thing. Basically, everything's down to me. I have to do the training, I have to do the research, I have to find about nutrition. You're not going to go into the extremes, physical extremes, where you're really under distress, unless you're very motivated. Motivation comes from your mind, planning comes from your mind, but you got to do that every day. The focus that you learn in bodybuilding, the discipline, and the inner strength that you get, yeah? You feel like a stronger person. You've got to have an absolute tunnel vision to be the best in anything, I think. Anything, you've got to have that tunnel vision. So that's the attitude, mate. That's the attitude. They're fucking highly competitive individuals, otherwise they wouldn't get there in the first place.